ओम जय स्वाहा माता मैया जय स्वाहा माता तुम अग्नि की शक्ति तुम अग्नि की शक्ति तुम सच्ची माता ओम जय स्वाहा माता.
I want to invite you to please all stand. Sabko khade ho jaye as we begin with our prayer. I recognize Pandit Jaydev Maharaj, Pandit Umadat Maharaj, Pandit Chandradat, Pandit Roshan Bairagi, Pandit Vinayak Prasad, and there may be a few other Pandits, Pandit Professor, Minister of Tertiary Education, Prakash Prasad, who's also downstairs, and all executive members, devotees of various branches and centers of Swaha Sitaram. As we begin today for Swadeshi Competition, as always, we begin with prayer. I ask you to join with me as we focus upon two main forms, Ganesh Bhagwan and Saraswati Mata. If you know it, please join. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Sangsita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Boli Shri Gajanan Swami ki, Saraswati Mata ki, Swaha Mata ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki. I ask you to remain standing for the national anthem. Remain standing for the Swaha Geet. Just one verse. We can all join together.
Om Jai Swaha Mata Maya Jai Swaha Mata Tum Agni ki Shakti Tum Agni ki Shakti Tum Sachi Mata Om Jai Swaha Mata Om Jai Swaha Mata Maya Jai Swaha Mata Tum Agni ki Shakti Tum Agni ki Shakti Tum Sachi Mata Maya Jai Swaha Mata. सनातनी देवी शुभ फल की दाता मैया शुभ फल की दाता भक्तन की दुख हरता भक्तन की दुख हरता सुख संपत्ति करता मैया जय स्वाहा माता।
Asan DJ, could be seated, everyone. And we welcome those who have just entered, those who are downstairs. Before I hand over to Pandit Maharaji, I would just say, while we enjoy the competition, and we want there to be, of course, a strong spirit of competition, where you have been working for quite a while to prepare for today. And I want to remind you that after the competition, of course, the prize given will be on the 30th. And I may not speak to you again for the morning, at least from the podium here, but I just want to extend a warm, cordial invitation to all of you and your respective families for our Swadeshi program. That's the Indian Arrival celebrations, which will be held at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation, Mount Hope. That's right near to the Arthur Lockjack School. On the 30th, Saturday 30th of May from 5 p.m. So all of you are invited, certainly the winners, first, second, third place, you'll need to be there to collect your prize. But more than that, we want you to join with us for Indian Arrival Day celebrations. We look forward to a wonderful celebration and competition today. Sitaram, thank you.
Thank you, Pandit Ishwar, President of SWAHA. Devotees, ladies and gentlemen, the competition is about to begin, so I will call your MC for the rest of the morning, Shivan Ramuta, and he will take it from this point to introduce the judges, and then we shall start into the story category.
Sitaram, to all the Pandits here this morning, say thank you very much for Pandit Ishwar, Madhu Maharaj and Pandit Chandradad for doing the introductory this morning. My name is Shivan Ramuta. I'll be your MC, Master of Ceremony here this morning for Swadeshi 2026. Give yourself a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We know it's a few weeks of practice, preparation in getting everyone to what we want for today's program. And basically, everyone have put their hearts and put their minds and put the efforts into bringing a dynamic show here for you all this morning. So this morning, before we continue, or actually start off with our program this morning, I'd just like to introduce to you, well, there are two judges right now presently here in front, and I'll have the honor in introducing them to you all. The first judge is Miss Chandini Shamati Ramsundar. Mrs. Shamati Ramsundar is a retired principal of the Arima Hindu School. She has completed the Valsain Teachers College and UE as a member of the Balvik and also to a member of the Balvigas Committee. She is a student of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Cultural Cooperation in the areas of vocal, harmonium, dance, Hindi, and yoga. The next judge is Mrs. Harday Sipasad. Mrs. Harday Sipasad is a retired senior human resource officer of the Ministry of Education. She has served for many years. She's an expert in Adha Gita chanting and has volunteered her time to teaching many young students how to chant Gita. She is also an active member with the Chinmaya Vidyalal. Please give a round of applause to Mrs. Sipasad. So those are the judges. We know on the head table we have Mrs. Ambika Madhu Maharaj and also to Pandit Ishwar Madhu. They'll also be assisting with the program this morning. But before we start off, let's see the representative. All the persons from Bhakti Mandali. I think some of them outside too, right? But let's give them a round of applause. And let's see you all. Yes. Gyandipa Kirtan Mandali, where you all are. Shakti Mandali. SWAHA Hindu College. Divya Ashram Mandali. Sukhshantibhaktimandali. Tulsi Manas Mandir. Sri Ramdam. Jyoti Mandali. Did I miss out anyone? Well, you all give yourself a round of applause too as well. Just for being here this morning and on time, as we're going to kickstart 2026 SWAHA Swadeshi. Well, we're going to introduce the first performance, and we said this morning we have basically 2 categories. The first category is storytelling, and then the second category, which is going to happen later on this morning, is going to be the Bhajan singing category. Please put your hands together and let's welcome our first contestant for this morning, the SWAHA Bhakti Mandali.
सीताराम, मेरा नाम पंडित अमृत महाराज है। आज मेरा कहानी का नाम हनुमान की लंका यात्रा, The journey of Hanuman Baba into Lanka. The scene is set. Prabhu Shri Ram, together with his army of monkeys and bears, have been advised by Sampati, the brother of Jatayu, that Sita Mata is being held at Ashok Vatika, Soyuzhan, 800 miles away from India, into Lanka. There were many powerful warriors present, namely Jamavant, Sugriv, Angad, and many others. The question is, who is able to go into Lanka to perform such a demanding task? A task of vigor, a task of valor. Hanuman Baba. A task of vigor, a task of determination. The question is, who could perform such a demanding task? They all give their suggestions. While they were contemplating on this situation, Jamavant's eye fell upon someone, none other than Atulita Baladama, the most powerful of all, Pavanaputra Bajrangbali, sitting very quietly, performing seva to the feet of Prabhu Shri Ram. Upon seeing this, Jamavant said, Kaharacha Pati Suno Hanumana, O mighty Hanuman, why are you so quiet? Pavanatanai Bal Pavana Samana, you are the son of Pavandev, you are strong as your father. O Hanuman, don't you know? You are the storehouse of strength, bal, buddhi, intellect, vigyan, divine wisdom. O Hanuman, kavana sukaj katana jagamahi. What undertaking there is that is too difficult for you to achieve. Upon hearing these encouraging words of Jamavant, Hanuman Baba, he rose. He became huge as a mountain. He became red in color. Lala de helali lasi. He began to gurge, roar again and again, like thousands of lions, shaking three spheres of existence. Bhut bhuva swaha. And he looked at Jamavant, saying, "Oh Jamavant, what is this ocean? I can leap across this ocean in a flash, like a child jumping over the hoofprint of a cow. What do you want me to do? Go into Lanka, destroy Ravan, retrieve Sita Mata, return Prabhu Shri Ram to Sita Mata? Advise me, O Jamavant." Upon hearing these words, Jamavant said, "Nahi, nahi, nahi, Hanuman. All we want you to do is to go into Lanka, locate Sita Mata, and bring back a message to Prabhu Shri Ram." Upon hearing these words of Jamavant, Hanuman Baba became delighted at heart. He saw the blessings of Prabhu Shri Ram, and he climbed the huge mountain. Climbing upon that mountain, taking the name of that Lord upon his lips, having that form in his heart, he launched into that air like an arrow shot from the bow of Shri Ram. Om Jai Shri Ram! In this way, he launched into that air. The power of that launch, part of that mountain, broke off and went into Patal. In this way, he's flying through the air, totally absorbed in the glories of that divine master. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Flying through the air like this towards Lanka, he encountered his first challenge. a mountain by the name of Mainak. When she saw him coming, she rose down into that ocean, saying, "O Hanuman, take some rest. You have a very far distance to go. Take some rest and you'll continue on your journey." Upon hearing these words, Mainak said, Hanuman said, "O Mata, mohe kaha bisram. How can I take rest when I have not completed the work of Prabhu Sri Ram?" And he merely touched her upon his head and he continued, flying through the air again, chanting the name of that Lord. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. A little distance away, he encountered his second challenge. Surusana Mahinhakai Mata. He seized upon by the name of Surusa. When she saw him coming, she rose from within that ocean in a huge form, confronting Hanuman, saying, "Ah, the gods have provided me with a meal today." Upon hearing these words, Hanuman Baba said, "O Mata, I'm on my way to Lanka to locate my divine mother. Please allow me to do so and take that message back to Sri Ram, and I will return for you to eat me. I promise you this." Hearing these words of Hanuman, she became enraged, and in an angry voice, she said, "Mai murkho! I am a fool! I'm going to eat you now!" As she opened her mouth. Hanuman Baba possesses the 8 major yogic powers. He transformed himself twice the size of her mouth. Mahima Siddhi. And Hanuman Baba. The duel began between both of them. When she opened her mouth, saw the ocean 800 miles. Hanuman Baba, in the twinkle of an eye, transformed himself. Anima Siddhi entered into her mouth and came back out. When she saw this, she said, "O Hanuman, you are very wise." Hanuman said, "O Mata, I've fulfilled your desire by entering into your mouth. Now, please allow me to go." In this way, he quickly continued on his journey towards Lanka. Flying through air again, Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Proceeding forward, in the far distance, he saw the outskirts of Lanka. And he hastened forward. But before reaching the shores of Lanka, he encountered his third challenge. Another demoness by the name of Sindhika. She's also known as the unseen force. She had an ability that any creature that would come close to her, just by seeing its shadow, she would suck it out of that air, pull it into that ocean and destroy it. She tried that same trick on Hanuman. But Hanuman Baba, very wise, he saw through that trap and dispatched of her very quickly. And in this way, he reached the shores of Lanka, climbed upon a huge mountain, and began to survey the city of Lanka, contemplating his next move. And from here moving forward, continues the stories of Hanuman. Bolo Pavanaputra Hanuman ki jai, Sita Ramachandra ki jai. This story is relevant to all of us. Hanuman Baba represents our minds. The challenges that he faced represent the challenges that we all face on a daily basis as we go through life. But like Hanuman Baba, he had that faith in Prabhu Sri Ram and was able to overcome all challenges that he was confronted with. So to all of us, if we keep our minds strong, we have that faith in Prabhu Sri Ram, we too will be able to overcome all our challenges. There's no doubt about it. Bolo Swaha Mata ki Jai!
Thank you very much, Bhakti Jot Mandali, for a wonderful way to start off this morning's program. Come on, and I know you all could do better than that. It's a good way to start off, right? So we say thank you very much for the Bhakti Jot Mandali. And up next, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you to our second contestant. It's going to be the SWAHA Gyandipak Kirtan Mandali. Put your hands together, give them a lusty round of applause.
Sitaram. The name of my story is Lord Krishna and the Thief. In the quiet village of Kunal, a grand Bhagavad Yajna was in progress. Hundreds of devotees sat mesmerized as the Vyashji was relating the glories of Lord Krishna so lovingly. Sitting among them was a cunning thief named Dildan. While others were immersed in bhakti, Dildan was scanning the crowd, looking for gold chains, gold earrings, and even unattended prasad. But something very strange happened as the katha continued. The Vyashji was describing with great emotion. Lord Krishna, the supreme enchanter, he was adorned with the rarest of jewels. The Kaustubha money started shining on his chest. Precious gems glittered on his arms, wrists, and ankles. Under the Kadam tree in Vrindavan forest, he plays his divine mudali. His sweet notes would enchant all of creation. Birds, beasts, rivers, and all his devotees become spellbound in divine Anand. Dildan's heart began to pound. Jagroo Basuri? If I steal this Basuri, I will be able to entrance anyone, and I will steal anything I desire. He listened eagerly as the Vyashji continued. Every Purnima night, Lord Krishna goes to the forests of Vrindavan, under the Kadam trees, playing his Basuri and dancing with his loved bhaktas. That was all Dildan needed to hear. He slipped away in the darkness and began his long, treacherous journey to Vrindavan. Full moon night was only 2 days away. He ran without rest. He was tormented by hunger and exhaustion, but his mind was fixed on one goal: stealing Krishna's jewels and that Jagroo Basuri. As the miles went by, his plans began to change. First, he said, I will kill him and steal everything. Ha ha. Then he said, I will just rob him and leave, yes. No killing. Finally, weakened by hunger, he said, Bas Basuri hi chahiye. I will just take that Basuri. With it, I could steal all the riches in the world. As he reached under the Kadam tree in Vrindavan, he was extremely tired. He was so exhausted, he had not eaten in 2 days. But his mind and his heart was filled with only one name, Eknam. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. As his eyes set upon Bhagwan Krishna's divine form, standing so gracefully under the Kadam tree, radiating such charm and karuna, all his evil intentions seemed to slip away like the mist before the sun. He rushed forward to the Lord's feet and prostrated, sobbing, Prabhu, Sham karo, mujhe maaf karo. I was coming to steal your flute and your jewels. Please forgive this papi. Lord Krishna smiled with boundless prem. He lifted the sobbing thief and embraced him. In that sacred embrace, Lord Krishna stole something far more precious than jewels and a flute. Krishna, the greatest chode of all, stole Dildan's heart. Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan's Kripa, can take anyone's heart and fill them with pure bhakti. Bhagwan's Kripa can change everyone in a split moment. We must keep chanting his name, Eknam, Krishna, and he will take all our impurities and fill us with pure bhakti. Dhanyavad aur Sitaram.
Wonderful performance again by the Gyandeepa Kirtan Mandali. I see you all doing a fantastic job, giving the judge some support, and that's important. And we need to show the camaraderie within all the members on all the temples of SWAHA, and that's commendable to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our program here this morning, as you can see, it's a stiff competition. Every group is doing fantastic, they're doing well, and they're well prepared. I'd like to introduce you to our third act here this morning. And this is going to be, as we say, the third act, the spiritual leader of the Mandir has just come, and we say special welcome to you, Panditji, Pandit Balram Prasad. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome our third act here this morning, and it's going to be the SWAHA Om Shakti Mandali.
Narayana, 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 Narayana. One day, Narada met Lord Vishnu. The Lord, pleased to see him, said, "You are dear to me, Narada. मैं तुम्हारी भक्ति से बहुत प्रसन्न है, Narada." "Does that mean I'm your greatest devotee, my Lord?" Lord Vishnu smiled and said, "Nahi, Narada." Narada was confused. क्या मुझसे भी बड़ा कोई भक्त है? क्या मुझसे भी बड़ा कोई भक्त है? "Let's find out," replied the Lord. It was early in the morning as Lord Vishnu took Narada to a small cottage where they found a farmer sleeping. As the day broke, the farmer woke up, joined his hands in prayer, and said, "Namo Narayana. Watch this devotee for the entire day and come back and meet me," said Lord Vishnu. किसान अपने काम के लिए निकल पड़ा, and Narada followed him. The farmer worked the entire day, plowing his land under the hot sun. इसने एक बार भी भगवान का नाम नहीं लिया, thought Narada. The farmer took a break to have lunch, said Namo Narayana, and continued his work. After returning home, the farmer once again said Namo Narayana and went to sleep. The next day, Narada met Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu asked, "Narada, do you still doubt the farmer is my greatest devotee?" Narada was hurt. "Prabhu, kisan ne pure din kaam kiya, but he took your name only 3 times. Why do you still consider him your greatest devotee?" "जब को मैं तो हर पल आपका जप करता हूँ." Lord Vishnu smiled and said, "Okay, Narada, I will answer your question, but first, can I have some water, please?" पहदी के एक ऊपर झील है, and not even one drop should be spilled when you're bringing back the water. Narada went up the hill, filled the water, Narayana, Narayana, and was coming back. Then he stopped. "ठहरो, मुझे से बहुत सावधान रहना होगा. प्रभु ने एक बूंद भी पानी नहीं गिराना चाहिए." And Narada began walking back slowly. "देखिए प्रभु, एक बूंद भी पानी नहीं गिरा." "That's good, Narada, but how many times did you chant my name?" "Lord, my attention was all on the water. I could take your name only 2 times. जब मैं चलना शुरू किया, जब मैं नीचे गदा रखा." Lord Vishnu smiled. Narada realized that while the farmer was working under the hot sun the entire day, he still remembered Bhagavan thrice. But while Narada was carrying only one pot of water, he had forgotten the Lord. Narada fell at Lord Vishnu's feet and said, Narayana, Narayana. Lord Vishnu blessed Narada and said, Narada, I can feel your love just like I can feel the farmer's love for me. Sabse avasyak bhavana hai. Narada realized that true devotion is love for God while performing one's duties. वह समझ गया कि भगवान हर भक्त को समान रूप से प्रेम करती है. This story relates us to when our ancestors came to Trinidad as indentured laborers. They were working on the sugarcane plantations, but regardless of their hard work, they still chanted Bhagavan's name and attended satsang. Different people call our Bhagavan different names like Ram, Hare Krishna, and Narayana and Narayana and our Ram as well. It is our duty to send on and carry on this such great culture to our next generation. Sanatana Dharma ki Jai. Sitaram. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Swaha Internashnal. Well done indeed. He has commanded the stage and did well. So let's see. We have a few more contestants here this morning. I would like some of the contestants to please line up to the eastern side of the mandir. And we're just going to give you the order of the performance, and this is going to be followed by the SWAHA Hindu College, followed by the Divya Ashram, SWAHA Tulsi Manas, and also to SWAHA Sri Ramdam, and this is going to be completed this morning storytelling category by the SWAHA Gyan Jyoti Mandali. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to introduce you to the other act here this morning. This group is not a small group, it's a large group, but they have been doing fantastic year after year. And please put your hands together for our fourth contestant here this morning, and they are the SWAHA Hindu College.
Sitaram, SWAHA Hindu College proudly presents The Chaining of the Ocean. Once, the king of the Devas, Lord Indra, was riding on his elephant and he came across the sage Durvasa. The sage offered him a special mala, given to him by Lord Shiva. Lord Indra accepted the mala and placed it onto the trunk of his elephant. However, the elephant threw it onto the ground, which enraged the sage. Sage Durvasa picked up his kamandal and placed a curse on Lord Indra that he and all the Devtas will lose their strength and power. The sage left and Lord Indra began to worry about what would happen if he had to face the Asuras. Soon after, the Asuras led by King Bali challenged the Devtas to a fight, and a fierce battle took place. Although the Devtas fought fiercely, King Bali defeated them and he took over the heavens. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Dejected and worried, The Devtas made their way to Supreme Lord Vishnu and begged him for help. Hey Prabhu, Kripaya hame bachao. Seeing their distress, the Lord said to them, form an alliance with the Asuras and jointly churn the ocean of milk for the nectar of immortality. Upon hearing this, Lord Indra was stunned and asked, How? How could we join forces with those of evil? Lord Vishnu then said, do not worry. You and the Devtas will obtain the nectar. Just keep me in mind and all will be well. With these words in mind, Lord Indra approached King Bali and asked him to churn the ocean, explaining that the nectar of immortality would only come to surface if they worked together. King Bali agreed, and the Mandar Parvat was placed in the ocean. Vasuki the snake was used as a rope to tie around the mountain, and Lord Vishnu appeared as a tortoise and went under the mountain to support it. The churning of the ocean began, and many things began to appear. Plants, trees, and herbs that could be used in medicine, many precious jewels, diamonds, rubies and stones, followed by cows and horses. Soon after the arrival of these wonders, the Devtas and Asuras were faced with the appearance of the poison, Halahal. This poison represents negative qualities, appeared like a storm, and began to affect all the beings in the universe. Lord Shiva, seeing the destruction, immediately rushed to help his devotees. He took the poison and drank it, keeping it in his throat. For this, he became known as Nilakant, the blue-throated one. Everyone was revived, and Lord Shiva vowed that he would always protect those in need. The Devtas and Asuras once again began their task of churning the ocean. Soon, the goddess Lakshmi appeared as the light that comes after darkness. She was the daughter of the sea god Varun Dev, and the most beautiful and elegant Devi that was ever seen. All the Devtas and even the Asuras bowed and paid their respects to her. Lakshmi Mata then stood and watched as the Devtas and Asuras continued to tune. After what seemed like a long time, Lord Dhanvantari came to the surface with the Amrit of immortality. Both tried to grab the nectar at the same time, but the Asuras were successful and they took it away before the Devtas. Dejected and depressed, Lord Indra sought Lord Vishnu's help. The Lord agreed and transformed himself into a beautiful young lady named Mohini. Mohini then made her way to the victory celebration of the Asuras, who became distracted as soon as they saw her.
मेरे ढोल ना सुन मेरे प्यार की धुन मेरे ढोल ना सुन.
This gave Lord Indra the opportunity, and he snuck in and took the Amrit. Lord Indra then drank some and distributed the rest to the rest of the Devtas. Mohini disappeared, and the Asuras realized that they were tricked, so another battle ensued. The strength of the Amrit and the blessing of the Lord, the Devtas easily defeated the Asuras and regained their position in heaven. This story is important as it teaches us that whenever we are faced with hard tendencies and negativity, if we turn to the Lord and say our prayers with all our hearts, then we will be saved and blessed abundantly. Dhanyavad all Sitaram.
Thank you very much for a wonderful performance, done indeed. And that's the SWAHA Hindu College all the way from Sandy Grande. Let's give them a beautiful, lusty round of applause again. As you can see, the competition is just getting more stiff and it's getting very competitive. So each Mandir is doing a fantastic job. And you can see they're well prepared and they're doing a wonderful delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, our next act is a Mandir from Central in Trinidad, and they are the SWAHA Divya Ashram. Please give a beautiful, lusty SWAHA welcome to SWAHA Divya Ashram. This, ladies and gentlemen, the other act is going to be followed by Tulsi Manas Mandir, followed by Sri Ramdam, and also to SWAHA Gyan Jyoti Mandali. They have 2 acts, all right? So keep that in mind. Also too, if on any of the groups have accompanying music, please check the sound system to our PA guy, Vijay in front, and he will gladly get your tracks. Please welcome once again, SWAHA Divya Ashram.
Sitaram. Our presentation is centered on the theme, Our Stories, and it is taken from the collection of Akbar and Birbal. Today, our presentation takes a local stance. Akbar was tired of the endless debates in his court. He was sick and tired of listening to wise, scholarly men. He wanted to have some fun. He decided he wanted to listen to some fools instead. So Akbar summoned Birbal.
Birbal, आओ, बैठो, और मेरी बात सुनो. I want you to go to Agra and find 5 fools for me in the morning.
Zarur, Emperor. Appa Icha Meri Arish. Your wish is my command. By the end of tomorrow, you will have your 5 fools.
Next morning at sunrise, Birbal set off for the city. He did not have a clue how he was going to find fools. He thought if he went to a crowded part of the bazaar, he stood a better chance. So he sat down and waited. Before long, he saw a curious sight. Along came a woodcutter seated on a donkey, carrying a bundle of wood on his head. He could have strapped it behind, but he held it on his head. Birbal hastened to the woodcutter's side.
Sitaram. Excuse my curiosity, sir, but mujhe batao kyun? Why do you choose to carry your burden on your head when you have such a fine Gadadhar to carry it for you?
This donkey has served me all his life. Now he is feeble and weak, and I don't wish to further bear no heavy burdens on him. So, the wood that I have, although I'm seated on him, the wood that I cut, I carry on my head.
Like a hit in the jackpot. Mere saath aao. Come with me, and I shall make sure fir kabhi nahi, never carry a load again.
The woodcutter, pleased to be getting so much attention from a polite gentleman, readily agreed. So Birbal, the woodcutter, and his donkey set about to look for more fools. Suddenly, Birbal stopped short. There in the middle of the path lay a man in front of them. He was cycling his legs in the air, and he held his both hands straight up, stiffly apart. Birbal went up to the man.
What are you doing on the ground like that? Our donkey almost stepped on you. Aap ute kyun nahi? Why don't you get up?
Youth me, my dad. Help me stand up. I tripped and fell and I cannot get up without using my hands.
Fid, why don't you use your hands to get up?
Salval, Salval. Only question, sir. Are you going to help me up or not?
Very well. Now you must tell me, why do you choose to hold your hands Hawa main up in the air like that?
Well, sir, my patni sent me to buy this length of cloth. If I put my hands on, how I go remember how much cloth she wants? And if I do go home with the right amount, she go peel me.
You know how them ladies is be, Murk squared.
So the gentleman agreed to go with Birbal. And the dutiful husband happily joined Birbal and the woodcutter, and they set about looking for a third fool. But people in Agra were very smart, and fools were not easy to come by. It was getting dark. Birbal still hadn't found another fool. Suddenly, he saw a strange sight. By the flaming torch which served as a street lighting was a fully grown man crawling about on his hands and knees like a little child. This looked very promising.
Tum kyar kar rahe ho? What are you doing in the ground crawling like that? Your sundar shwet clothes will get ganda, dirty.
May a good guy, I lost my diamond ring. I was chatting with some dostis, and I have a habit of twisting it around my finger, and it must have fallen out. Then when I realized I lost it, I came back to look for it.
But if you lost your ring under the trees, then why are you looking for it so far over here?
It's totally dark over there. You expect me to find my ring in the dark bush over there? Yeah, Prakashi, it's a light here. Oh gosh, man, if I'm looking for something and I to find it in the light here.
Talk about dotish jackpot!
Pleased with the attention of the sympathetic stranger, the merchant agreed to go with Birbal because he would get not one, but two diamond rings. One by one, Birbal took the fools to the palace to meet Emperor Akbar. Akbar presented them with their rewards. Akbar was about to reward Birbal, then he stopped short.
1, 2, 3. लेकिन यहाँ केवल 3 मुर्ख है, बाकी कहाँ है? I only see 3 fools. Where is the 4th one?
Zaroor, the 4th fool is none other than me. I am talented, educated, and a diplomat who goes on serious missions. And imagine I agree on a mission to find murks? Only a foolish person will do something like that. So the 4th fool has to be me.
Then who is the 5th fool?
Zaroor, may the sun and the moon revolve around you. May you live for 1,000 years. May the world sing your praises for another 10,000 years. But if I'm being honest with you, hey Bhajan, how are telling he this way? You are the most important ruler on earth, the most esteemed person in this dish at present. And for you to send me on a mission to find fools, the 5th fool have to be you.
Hey, I'll come, hey?
Birbal laughed. He paused for a moment, then he collapsed on the ground with laughter. Then Akbar composed himself, hugged Birbal and said,
This is why I love you, Birbal. You can make me laugh and make me forget for a moment how important I am.
And this just goes to show, be it Raja or Rank, everyone needs to have a little fun in life.
That was certainly mesmerizing live show. Wonderful job done indeed. Story by Akbar and Birbal, right? Give a wonderful round of applause again to all the participants. Swaha Divya Ashram. As we said, the competition is stiff. And we see, like the judges, pressure in front, all right? So it's very difficult, and every Monday is doing a fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our storytelling category for the next group, and they are from Sandy Grandi as well. Please put your hands together and let's welcome the SWAHA Tulsimanas Mandar.
Sitaram. My name is Jadna Maraj and I'll be representing the SWAHA Tulsimanas Primary School at Mandar with my story entitled The Belief in God and Grew. There once was a Chota Parivar, Mata, Pita और एक सुंदर लड़की का नाम Lakshmi. The family was living very happily. Every day, the parents would remind their daughter, Nishidim Pratna Karo, Niti Boli Bolo. Pray every day and speak sweet words. Following her parents' advice, Lakshmi was growing into a respectable young lady, achieving excellent marks in her exams and earning herself a scholarship. A huge yagya was held to give thanks to Bhagwan and get his ashirvad. After this grand event, her parents decided to take her on a cruise on one of the world's most expensive cruise liners. The daughter was waiting with great anticipation. All, and I mean all, arrangements were in place. It was a day we were sailing when tragedy struck. As Lakshmi was walking in her yard, ek bada kuta entered and bit Lakshmi on her leg. Bachao! Bachao! She screamed as cries of help echoed through the village. Her parents quickly rushed to her and saw their daughter in great pain. They quickly took her to the doctor, who attended to her and advised that she needed to be kept at the hospital for monitoring. Nahi, we can't. Tomorrow we have to go on a cruise, said the father. The doctor insisted. Cries of disappointment erupted the doctor's office. Dejection was plastered on the faces of Lakshmi and her parents. They had no choice but to miss the cruise, losing all of their investments. मैं उसकुते को मार डालूंगा. I will kill that dog, he said angrily. He looked in every corner of the village for the dog. Kuta kaha hai? Where is the dog? Kuta kaha hai? Where is the dog? But all efforts proved futile. Ek kanta. 1 hour before the sailing, the doctor called and advised that Lakshmi was in good health and she is free to leave. Her parents quickly rushed to the hospital, picked up Lakshmi, and drove to the port for sailing. As they arrived, they were told the boarding had closed. Faced with disappointment for the second time, they stood with tearful eyes, observing the cruise liner departing the port. They immediately went to their Guruji, Pandit Bhajan Prasad. Guruji! 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 Pranam Guruji. I explained their problems. Upon listening, Guruji said, Dhiraj dharo, chinta mat karo. Have patience, don't worry. Everything happens for a reason. The family, believing in the words of their guru, left feeling comforted. The following following day, the news headline read, "Cruise liner sank. All on board died." This was the same cruise liner that Lakshmi and her parents had purchased tickets for. Dhanyavad, Prabhu, Dhanyavad. Humko raksha ke liye. Thank you for protecting us. These are the sounds emanating from their home, their consistent practice and belief in Bhagwan, and listening to the words of their Guru had guided them through their adversity. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my story. Sitaram.
As you can see, there's a lot of courage, enthusiasm, and delivery that was done here this morning by all the groups so far. So they're doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, our next act is the SWAHA Sri Ram Dam, and this is going to be followed by 2 acts of SWAHA Jyoti Mandali. Please put your hands together. This mandir is known as the West Branch from the Go Martin. Please put your hands together for the SWAHA Sri Ram Dam.
Sitaram, everybody. My name is Sadia Ali, and I will be representing SWAHA Sri Ram Dam in the storytelling. I will be narrating the story of Shravan Kumar. Shravan Kumar, he was a young boy known for his extraordinary love and dedication to his blind and elderly parents. They depended entirely on him for care and survival. As his parents grew even older, they expressed their wish to go on a pilgrimage to holy places. Shravan, though poor, he was determined to fulfill their desire. He placed aside his own wants and care and chose to fulfill his parents' wishes. He built a kanwar. A kanwar is a wooden yoke with baskets on both ends. He seated his parents in the baskets and carried them on shoulders across long distances, visiting many places of pilgrimage. They went to Mathura, the birthplace of Sri Krishna. They went to Ayodhya, the birthplace of Sri Ram. He carried them on foot to many of the 12 Jyotirlingams, including Kashi Vishwanath, Somnath, and others, traversing long distances on foot. He carefully and tenderly fulfilled their wish of visiting holy places to perform tirat. As scriptures say, blessed is the birth of that child who by their actions bring happiness to their parents. As they went from place to place, Shravan Kumar filled their days with happiness and love and genuine care and affection. His parents were totally dependent on him. One day, while traveling through a forest, Andha and Andi, Shravan's blind parents, told him they were very thirsty. Shravan placed them on the ground, telling them, "Mataji, Pitaji, please rest a while here. I will go to the river and get you water to drink. The ground is very uneven in this area." Placing them on the ground, his parents, not wanting to be separated from him, asked him to return quickly. He went to the nearby riverbank where tragedy struck. In that forest, the king of Ayodhya, the normally righteous King Dasharath, was hunting animals for sport. King Dasharath was skilled in Shabd Bedi Ban. This means he could shoot an arrow without seeing his prey and be guided only by the sound the animal makes. Raja Dasharath, the normally dharmic king, was engaged in himsa, violence against animals, and also using a skill he had without due care and attention. Shravan, reciting and thinking about the principle Matri Deva Bhava and Pitri Deva Bhava, was lost in thoughts of service to his parents as he approached the bank of the river. Shravan took the kamandal and placed it in the water for it to be filled. As the kamandal was being filled, a gurgling sound was heard by Raja Dasharath. Without due care and attention, he engaged in the hunt without thinking. Raja Dasharath, whose duty was to protect his subjects, He pulled his arrow to his ear and released it in direction to the sound, thinking it was an animal drinking water, and he would kill the animal using his special prowess. The arrow struck Shravan, mortally wounding him. Shravan shouted out, "Hey Mata! Hey Pita!" as he lay badly wounded. Raja Dasharath, in consternation, he ran to the spot and saw what he had done. This was no animal, but rather a handsome young man, wounded by his outrageous acts. As he lay dying, Shravan said, "Why have you shot me, O king? You have not only destroyed my life, but you have now placed my parents in a dire predicament. They cannot survive without me. They are seated in the dark, a short distance away in thirst, awaiting my return with water. O king, please take this water to them and let them know what fate has befallen their son. Tell them that I will not see them, nor will I serve them anymore." As requested, Raja Dasharath, with a heavy heart, he took the kamandal with water to Shravan's parents. When Raja Dasharath approached the blind parents, they thought their son was coming to them, as he had done every day before. But they detected a difference and a coldness they had never knew. Shravan's father said, "Putra, why are you so silent and standing so far away from us? Why are you depriving us of your warm embrace and musical voice which brought joy to our lives, son?" Raja Dasharath had no choice and said, "O mother and father, I am not your son. I am Raja Dasharath, and I mistakenly killed your son." No words can express the anguish felt by Andha and Andi. Though physically blind, this message now made their lives truly dark. No sense in living without our son, they thought. With uncontrollable grief, they asked Raja Dasharath to bring their son's body to them. Only on touching the face of their son, smelling his hair, and realizing all their hope and joy had been sucked dry with this arrow of Raja Dasharath. "O king, your action has destroyed our family. We have no desire to live any further. Please arrange a pyre for us and lead us to it, so we may sit with our son and be burned together." As requested, Raja Dasharath prepared the pyre, and his hapless mother and father sat on the pyre with their son's body on their lap, caressing his face and body, and said, "King, complete the act of destroying our family. Light the pyre. We have no desire to exist in this world without the love and affection of our son. Our life is now bereft of anything." Raja Dasharath lit the pyre with a heavy heart and stood there, filled with grief as the fire began taking hold of the cheetah. These grieving parents placed a shrap or a curse on Raja Dasharath, saying, "O king, as we are dying today in separation from our son, in the future you too would suffer this fate. You will not be able to live following separation from your son." Raja Dasharath at this time had already married 3 times to have a son and was still yet without any. So these words did not impact him, as he had no sons. When Sri Ram left Ayodhya for the forest, on his deathbed, Raja Dasharath recalled and narrated this episode in his life to Sri Ram's mother, Kausalya. Raja Dasharath, like Shravan Kumar's parents, had no desire to live in separation from Sri Ram and died in separation from his son. As Tulsidas wrote, "Ram Ram kahi Ram Ram, Ram Ram kahi Ram, Tanu Pari Hari Raghupati Biraha Ravu Gaya Vu Surdam." Remembering Sri Ram and reciting his name, Raja Dasharath died. Moral of the story: devotion to parents is a supreme virtue. Matri Deva Bhava, Pitri Deva Bhava. Actions done without full awareness can have tragic consequences which cannot be undone and can lead to untold suffering and karmic repercussions. When in positions of authority and responsibility, one must be careful and responsible, acting in dharma, especially when wielding power that can impact on others. Thank you. Jai Jai Sitaram.
Thank you very much. And that's the Swaha Sri Ram Dam, all the way from the Gumatin. As you can see, give them a round of applause. Each group has emotionally charged a set, And we say it's fire from start to finish, right? And each group is doing fantastic. Having you sitting in the edges of your seat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this Monday they have 2 acts. The reason why 2 set of children wanted to perform. And we in SWAHA, we don't want to disappoint anyone. So hence the reason why we have allowed them to do 2 acts. Because they are willing and they want to perform for you all. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome this Monday. They are from Madras Road. And put your hands together. Please welcome the SWAHA Jyoti Mandali.
Sitaram, everyone. This is a true story. Adrian Merebai has been trying to get me to come to his church. I, being a proud Hindu, always declined his invitation. After several attempts, he tried a new approach. He thought he could change my decision by showing me all the cool things his church gives to kids when they attend. He showed me the expensive gifts and toys he got from foreigners who visited his church. He said the church bus would pick me up and drop me back home. As inviting as it sounded, I declined once more. I said I can't see myself leaving my religion, Mere Sanatan Dharma, for any man-made religion. I said again, Nahi mere bhai, nahi. So once I decided to invite Adrian to my mandir, I said, Aao bhai, aao mere mandir, aao Swaha Jyoti Mandir for Diwali celebrations. He became very upset when I mentioned this. He argued and condemned our form of worship, our parampara. I calmly said, I can't go to a church where they mock my gods and ridicule my parampara. You call me names for worshipping my murtis, for revering Gau Mata, and for standing up for my Sanatan Dharma. I stand firm in my way of life because I am better rooted in my culture and devotion than you. I carry a civilization that taught the world philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and governance. I am Yadav, the son of a 10,000-year-old legacy, and no amount of noise or persuasion from the laws will ever touch the pride of this Hindu. Adrian never expected me to defend my dharma and my parampara like this. He was speechless. A few days later, he came and apologized. He said he thought I made a lot of sense when he Googled it. Then he asked if he can attend my mandir. I was shocked, but I smiled, hugged him, and said, Aao mere bhai, aao mere mandir, aao Swaha Jyoti Mandir. You are welcome anytime, because at our mandir, we are rooted in culture and united in devotion. Sanskriti mein nihet, Bhakti mein ekjut. So because of my culture, Adrian and I became united in devotion. Sanskriti mein nihet, Bhakti mein ekjut. Thank you, Sitaram.
Thank you very much, SWAHA Jyoti Mandali. You see passion poured through every song, every performance here this morning. And each of the children performing, they have been doing fantastic. As I said, this Mandali, they had 2 volunteers, because this is a voluntary program basically, and two set of children wanted to perform. So they didn't want to say no, because we being a loving, kind organization as we are. Please put your hands together again as we would like to introduce you this morning, our final act here this morning in the storytelling category. Put your hands up, ladies and gentlemen, and let's once again introduce the SWAHA Gyan Mandali.
आज की मेरा कहानी सुंदर कांड से है, रामायण से. It is a katha of Hanumanji crossing the mighty ocean to find Sita Ma. This story teaches us that when we are rooted in culture and united in devotion, we can overcome any obstacle. On the seashore stood the great monkey army. The ocean was huge. The waves roared loudly. Across that ocean, far away in Lanka, Sita Mata was waiting. Sri Ram was filled with sadness, but he also had faith. The Vagnaris wondered, who can cross this great ocean? Someone said, I can jump a little. Some said, I can jump far, but I cannot return. Then everyone looked at Hanumanji. But Hanumanji sat quietly. He had forgotten his own strength. Then Jambavanji, the wise elder, spoke to him. Pavana tayin bala pavan samana buddhi vive ka vigyana nidhani ram kajalaki tava avatara sunati bhayu parvata kara. Hey Hanuman, why are you so silent? You are the son of Vayudevata. You are powerful, brave, wise, and devoted. You can cross this ocean. We were born to serve Sri Ram. Jambavanji reminded Hanumanji of who he truly was. Then Hanumanji folded his hands and remembered Sri Ram. Jai Sri Ram, Prabhu Mujhe Shakti Hij Ye Mai Aapke Kam Karene Ja Raha Hu. Hanumanji grew larger and larger. His heart was filled with devotion. He said, Ram Kaj Karub Ko Artha. I am eager to do Sri Ram's work. I will go to Lanka. Then Hanumanji climbed Mahindra Parvat. He pressed his feet firmly on the mountain. He looked at the ocean. He looked towards Lanka. He looked inside his heart and saw Sri Ram. And with a mighty call he shouted, Jai Sri Ram. Hanumanji flew into the sky. The trees shook, the mountains trembled. The ocean waves danced below him. As he flew, the gods and devatas watched from above. They said, may Hanuman succeed, may Ram's work be done. But the journey was not easy. Hanumanji had to face 3 obstacles. As Hanumanji flew over the ocean, suddenly a huge mountain rose from the water. It was Mainak Parvat. Mainak said, O Hanuman, please rest on my peak. You are doing a great task. Come eat some fruits and take rest. Mainak was kind. He wanted to help Hanumanji. But Hanumanji thought, I cannot stop now. Sita Mata is waiting. Sri Ram is depending on me. Hanumanji gently touched Mainak with respect. He said, Ram Kaju Kinhi Binhu Binu Muhi Kaha Bisram. There can be no rest until Ram Kaj is done. Then Hanumanji flew on. Then the devatas wanted to test Hanumanji's wisdom. They sent Sudasa, the mother of serpents. Sudasa appeared in front of Hanumanji with a huge mouth. She said, you must enter my mouth before you can go further. Hanumanji folded his hands politely. Mata, I am on Sri Ram's mission. Please let me go. When I return, I will enter your mouth. But Sudasa said, no, you must enter now. Then Sudasa opened her mouth wider and wider. But Hanumanji also became bigger. Then suddenly, Hanumanji became very tiny, like a little bumblebee. He quickly flew into Sudasa's mouth and came out again. He smiled and said, Mata, main aapke mukh mein gaya aur bahar bhi aa gaya aap kripa Muche Jan Dijaya. Mother, I answered your mouth and came out. Now please let me go. Sudasa was pleased. She blessed him. Hanumanji bowed and flew ahead. Hanumanji continued flying across the ocean. He was getting closer to Lanka. But then he felt something strange. His speed became slower. Looking down, he saw a terrible Rakshasi named Simhika. She had the power to catch a shadow of anyone flying above the ocean. Simhika grabbed Hanumanji's shadow and pulled him down, but he destroyed her quickly. Eventually, Hanumanji reached Lanka. Meadows, sometimes we forget our own strength, like Hanumanji did, but our parents, teachers, gurus, and elders remind us. Sometimes we meet Mainak, comfort and distraction. Sometimes we meet Sudasa, tests that need wisdom. Sometimes we meet Simika, fear and negativity that try to pull us down. But when we remember Sri Ram, respect our culture, and stay united in devotion, we can cross any ocean. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Swaha Gyan Jyoti Mandali. Give them a round of applause again. Each group have left you all with a lasting impression, and they give you their messages. They have demonstrated exceptionally stagecraft, and I think everyone did fantastic. Give them every group a round of applause again. And I'm just going to call all the participants, because after this, you know, the judges is busy and they're doing they're basically they're tallying up and so on, and we're going to have them coming to you all shortly to give you their remarks, and followed by that we're just going to have roughly about a 10 minutes break or so. We're going to continue. Pandits have said we're going to start off one time because of timing. All right. Just also too, we have some refreshments downstairs. So if anybody would like to have some refreshments, please kindly get it at the lower level. Also too, we have the bathrooms available downstairs in case for anyone. All right. Please give a wonderful Swaha round of applause to all the participants, and I'm going to call out their names. Swaha Bhakti Jyoti Mandali, Swaha Gyan Deepak Kirtan Mandali, Om Shakti Mandali, Swaha Hindu College, Swaha Divya Ashram, Swaha Tulsi Manas Mandali, Mandir actually, Swaha Sri Ram Dam, and Swaha Gyan Jyoti Mandali. Each group did fantastic. They have done well. A lot of preparation and a lot of work was done, and also to team effort. So it's a special thanks to all the participants and also to the judges. I will let hand over now this part of the program to our judges for them to give you their remarks. Will be the first. Ms. Shamati will be giving you her remarks.
Sitaram Namaste. Revered Pandit Balaram Prasad, spiritual head of this temple, Mantri Ji Pandit Prakash Prasad, School Supervisor 3, Pandit Ishwar Madhu Maharaj, and his wife, Miss Ambika Maharaj, Principal of SWAHA, and all executives of SWAHA, all other Pandits and distinguished judges, all guests and participants in today's competition. I must congratulate SWAHA for this effort this morning. I was told it was the first time that they are doing the storytelling competition. This is a really great initiative for the children, especially those at primary level and secondary level, to be exposed in this kind of arena. Some general comments are, well, first, I must say the topics were very interesting and they were integrated. We were not bored by anything being repeated, and all the stories were quite interesting, and they were well depicted as well. The Birbal story with its moral was effective. Humor was entertaining as well, but in some cases, the Hindi pronunciation needs to be addressed. Attire, in 1 or 2 cases, on stage, were not too appropriate in a temple environment and where this program will be going, you know, like worldwide in the media. The narration by the children was excellent, and the integration of members of the community into the stories as well, when the children quoted like Pandit Balaram's name, Pandit Prakash's name. It was like touching grounds, touching base with the audience here. So those are my simple comments this morning, and I am sure next year they will do much better, and people learn from their mistakes, and of course they would maybe have more time to prepare and all of that. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be a judge in your storytelling competition this morning, members of SWAHA. Thank you so much. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chandani Shamati Ramasundar. I'd like to ask the other judge who's here, Mrs. Swadeshi Prasad, kindly give us some kind words. Some kind words would be appreciated.
Sitaram, it has actually been a great pleasure being here and being part of this competition. All the groups did well. There is always room for improvement, but it's a good start for the young people and the not too young people to take part in these programs, and I wish you all the best in future. Thank you.
As we say, thank you very much for all the members that has participated here this morning. They all did well, fine. So before we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the second category, which will be the Bhajan singing category, before we have that, we like to ask Ms. Christine Saharu, please come forward, please, just to assist us with giving out these tokens of appreciation to 2 of our judges here this morning. And the first judge, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, she was just here. And we say special thanks to Ms. Chandani Shamati Ramasundar on behalf of SWAHA. We'd like to give you this token of appreciation. And we say especially a simple thank you for assisting us here this morning in this storytelling category. So on behalf of SWAHA, we say thank you. Ms. Shamati was always busy, eh? I think she have a next judging tomorrow. Right? Also too, we ask Mrs. Swadeshi Prasad, please come forward and accept a small token on behalf of SWAHA. I would say thank you very much for your assistance here this morning in making our Swadeshi competition a success. Thank you. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our judges. Thank you very much, Christine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time is here. We're going to start off with the second category. But before we start on to the second category, I'd like to introduce you to 2 of our judges again here. They are here this morning. They are no stranger to us, because they have always been doing a fantastic job. Actually, We is the one who give them the headache and so on during the course of the program. Right? And I'd like to introduce you, and I will ask the gentleman to please come forward and have a seat in the front table, please. And as I'm doing that, I'd like to introduce you firstly to Dr. Sri Shivanand Maharaj, and also to Sri Rana Mohibji. Also too, ladies and gentlemen, at the head table, we have Sri Maniram Dilraji, who is also a judge. I'd like to introduce you briefly to these gentlemen. As I said, Dr. Shivanand Maharaj Ji, he's a well-known, renowned musician who has excelled in music and vocals. He holds a diploma in music and vocals from the Bharatya Vidya Sansthan and is one of the directors of the reputable music school of Pinal, working along with his brother Narendra Maharaj. As I said, give Dr. Shivanand Maharaj, our first judge, a round of applause. Our second judge, as I said, is no stranger to us, is Sri Rana Mohibji. Sri Rana Mohib began his playing harmonium and singing at the tender age of 9 and is today one of Trinidad's leading musicians. In 1987, he received his scholarship to pursue Hindustani classical music in India, where he then completed his bachelor's degree in music with the first division honors and an MA, once again securing first division honors. In 2026, he launched the Sargam International Orchestra, where he is the program, and also he's a program leader of APA programs at the University of Trinidad and Tobago campus, at the SAPA campus. Please give Mr. Sri Rana Mohibji a round of applause. Welcome, sir. Also too, as I said, another judge is Sri Maniram Dilraji. Maniram Dilraj works at finance and accounts in the Ministry of Education. This is not his regular job, but he's well known for his talent in areas of vocal and Indian music. He's an expert in Indian classical music and has been touring throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and he has sharing our culture and inspiring all of us with his devotional and inspiring devotional bhajans. I'd like to introduce you to Sri Maniram Dilraj. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue this morning here with our program, I'd just like to call the order that how we're going to perform this morning here in the bhajan singing category. Firstly, it's going to be the Swaha Sri Ramdam, followed by Swaha Hindu College. Then third is going to be Swaha Sukhshantibhaktimandali, Swaha Gyan Jyoti Mandali, Tulsi Manas Mandir, Swaha Om Shakti Mandali, Swaha Gyandipa Kirtan Mandali, and the eighth contestant is going to be Swaha Bhakti Jyot Mandali. That is the order how each group is going to perform here this morning. They're going to be accompanied by their musicians, which is going to be in front of the stage, and also they'll be performing on the stage for you all. We ask the groups to please, they're ready? To please line up on the eastern side of the mandir in the order that I said early on, which is going to be Sri Ramdam, Swaha Hindu College second, followed by Sukhshantibhaktimandali third. At least these three groups, we ask you to please line up on the eastern side, and the other groups is going to follow shortly after. Gyan Jyoti Mandali, Tulsi Manas, Om Shakti Mandali, Swaha Gyan Deepak Kirtan Mandali, and Bhakti Jyot. So we said we're going to go in that order. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no other further delay, we'd like to continue our program here this morning. And I'd like to introduce you to our first act in the Bhajan singing category. Ladies and gentlemen, give a lusty round of applause to SWAHA Sri Ramdam. We ask all the groups, when you come up on stage, you know, you could be close to the mics, so at least the judges will be able to hear you clearly. So we hand you over to the group. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give a lusty round of applause to our second act here this morning in the Bhajan singing category for SWAHA Hindu College, all the way from Sandy Grande.
I want to say again, I'd like to welcome members of sukhshantibhaktimandali. I know that they're ready to come on stage, so we'd like to welcome them. And I will just entertain you for a little while they make their way on stage. Yes, so as I was saying, I know that the judges would have quite a difficult job today. You know, when you see so many different performances, levels of expertise, proficiency, and so on, it becomes difficult. And I find it to be particularly difficult when I see little children, small little children, and they're showing that level of, you know, bravery to come up. And they're participating. It really melts my heart. So, a reminder to all our members who are here that we do have refreshments downstairs. So once you're finished participating, we'd welcome you to go down. You can have your refreshment and you can come back up and join us for the remainder of the performances. Okay, so I think the stage is set. We are all ready to get started. A reminder to our choir members, please ensure that you are at a decent distance away from the mic, or should I say close to the mic. We do want to hear your voices as a choir. All right, over to SWAHA Sukhshantibhaktimandali.
Sa
All right, excellent job to SWAHA sukhshantibhaktimandali. And as they make their way off stage, we'd like to ask SWAHA Mandali to please get yourselves organized. You are next to present. A reminder to all our musicians, you will be on the ground facing the choir so that they can see you. Excellent job to all members so far. I'd like to inform you that following the Bhajan singing category, we will ask one of the judges just to come up to give their remarks so that all temples and also schools will know what we can do to improve for the next time we have competition. And following that, we will give the results of both Bhajan and also storytelling category. But I'd like to remind our members that the awards in the form of trophies and so on will be given out for our awards ceremony. And I do hope that I will see each and every one of you for SWAHA's awards ceremony, Swadeshi Awards. A reminder that it is at Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation, and we would like to start promptly at 5 p.m. So we see some wonderful props coming up for this presentation. And we'd like to invite the choir to come on stage. And I'd like to pass back to Shivan Ramuta, who will take you through the remainder of the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambika, for assisting me there. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we continue this morning with dynamic performances by a lot of the Manders who's doing a fantastic job. You can see a lot of work have been done, practice, and they are extremely eager to perform here for you this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, as we said, this is our Bhajan singing category. And our fourth contestant here this morning to sing for you all, please give them a round of applause to SWAHA Mandali.
Jagru
much to the SWAHA Gyan Jyoti Mandali doing an exceptional performance again. As you said, there's flawless live execution of music. You know, it's fire from start to the end, eh? Fire, right through. And everyone is doing really well, fantastic. You know, and I can see the crowd are deeply, you know, moved by every Monday performance. Give yourself a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our next group is known as the Mandar from the east of Trinidad. Please put your hands together and let's welcome our contestant number 5, the SWAHA Tulsi Manas Mandar.
Shivesarvadya sadhike, Sharanye
give them a lusty round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful song done indeed. And that was Tulsi Manas Mandar. We ask the following groups to please line up to the eastern side. That is the Gyandi Pakirta Mandali and Bhakti Jyot Mandali. Kindly line up to the eastern side, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want to delay our program again as we continue this morning performances. As we said, this is our second category, which is the Bhajan singing category here in our Swadeshi 2026 competition. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let's give a lusty round of applause for contestant number 6, the Om Shakti Mandali. a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. Because this is the Swadeshi 2026 live performance. And ladies and gentlemen, just a few more, actually just 2 more performances again here this morning. Just some house announcement. There are some refreshments at the lower level. If anybody would like something to eat or drink, you could get it at the lower level. Please feel free and help yourself downstairs. And ladies and gentlemen, as we continue here this morning with our performances, we'd like to introduce you to our next group in the Bhajan singing category. Please put your hands together and welcome the SWAHA Mandali.
Bhajale bhajale Rama Govinda Hari, tu bhajale bhajale Rama Govinda Hari, Rama Govinda Hari, Rama Govinda Hari,
Thank you very much, the SWAHA Mandali, for a lovely performance. Give them a round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. Each group, as I said, their performances was to the next level. Everyone had very electrifying performances, and also their performances was magnetic on stage. So we said, well, job well done indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last act here this morning in this category of the Bhajan singing category. And this group is known as the SWAHA Bhakti Jyoti Mandali. Please put your hands together for our last performance here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The SWAHA Bhakti Jyot Mandali. Give them a lusty round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. As we have seen here this morning, every group have dominated the stage. They have every second felt electric, and every performance was spectacular. So it was a performance, and this, ladies and gentlemen, bring the end of this Bhajan singing category. But it's not the end of our program with just a few items to be addressed before this morning's proceeding is completed. But I would like to say congratulations to every single group. Everyone have done tremendous, they've done well, that has participated. A lot of time, effort, and energy was taken by each individuals in different mandaries. And I want you all to give yourself and give each group a round of applause. Because without you all, SWAHA Swadeshi Competition would not have been a success. And I could proudly say that its 2026 Swadeshi Competition is a success. So I want to give the Dharmandal, the Pandits, all the spiritual leaders, the executive, a round of applause. We'd like to say special thanks as well. I'm not doing a vote of thanks, but just in my capacity as the Master of Ceremonies here this morning, I'd like to give special thanks as well to the judges who have came and did a fantastic job. I know it is very difficult to do the duties that they have to perform here this morning. And also so special thanks to Pandit Ishwar, Madhu Maharaj, Ambika, Pandit Jaidat, and all the Pandits of the Dharmandal and SWAHA, all the spiritual leaders. Without your assistance, this program would not have been a success. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to hand you over to another item on my agenda with some tokens of appreciation. I'll ask Pandit Jaidat Maharaj to please come forward and give some token of appreciation. And after that, Panditji, we ask you please say a few words on behalf of the Dharmandal. I'd like to ask, first of all, one of the judges, all the judges to please, this is some tokens of appreciation. I'd like to first of all, introduce Dr. Shivanand Maharaj. Please come forward. Give him a wonderful SWAHA round of applause. We say special thanks to you, sir, for your assistance here this morning. Not only this morning, but every year you're here lending his support to SWAHA. We appreciate your assistance and we thank you. We ask also to please welcome Sri Rana Mohibji. Please come forward. Let's give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Sri Rana Mohib is no stranger to us. A lot of students here perform here as, are under his guidance. Special thanks to Sri Rana Ji. And also to please put your hands together and welcome Sri Maniram Dilraji for judging this morning. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of SWAHA, we say thank you. I'd like to hand you over to Pandit Jaidat Maharaj, to give some greetings.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, and I'll be very brief. I just want to bring a few words on my capacity as Chairman of the Board of SWAHA. And firstly, let me say special blessings and appreciation to all of the groups of SWAHA, to the executive members led by Pandit Ishwar, that putting this together is no easy task. And of course, year after year, the members of the executive, they work very hard to ensure that all of the different parts of these events, that they're able to come together in a wonderful way. We sit and we appreciate, but the work that goes into the putting all of this together, the background work, of course, sometimes we are not aware of all of that. So that what we have seen here today is a culmination of some very hard work that was put together by the members of the executive led by Panditeshwar. So I want us to just give them a round of applause, express our appreciation to Shivan, who is the chairperson of sukhshantibhaktimandali. I know in the absence of your spiritual leader that you all have agreed to allow us to use this venue. And I know that a lot of work would have gone into preparation and all of that. There's some work to do after also. I know that you all pulled together to get that done. So thank you very much to the members of the Sukhshantibhaktimandali. I just want to comment on one observation, that year after year, we have seen improvement in the quality of the performances. We have seen improvement in the, what the groups are putting forward. And what that says is that there's a desire to represent ourselves well, not just as members of SWAHA, but as members of the Hindu community. When we look around, we see many different, aspects that are emerging in our society that distracts us from what we are supposed to do. But it is good to see that through the temples, and I don't want to say the spiritual leaders alone, because in some cases, some temples operate without spiritual leaders. In some cases, the spiritual leaders are not present all of the time. But the members, as well as with the guidance of the spiritual leader, to ensure that they see this as important. We see a lot of the children. This year we see a lot of the elders taking part also. And this is what we need to ensure that there's that level of socialization. And not just the children, you push them and say, well, all you go say a story, you all go sing. But we see the parents, they are taking an active role. And this is a good sign. What we are seeing is a little evolution in terms of the storytelling. In the past, the storytelling would simply be someone standing and saying a story. Now we are seeing props is moving into the area of a drama, dramatization, multiple persons taking part. And this is the type of evolution that we want. And this ties in with the direction of organization. It will be remiss of me if I don't give you some information of what we have been doing as the board of SWAHA. Now at the Dharmandal level, it is not only to sit and to say when we're going to do puja, but we have to look at what is the future direction of SWAHA in relation to how the society is changing. And, some things like large Ram Leela, we may not have that in our organization, maybe one venue or two. But these are opportunities. So for example, when we do a story, we heard maybe one or one said, Pavanatanaya Bala Pavana Samana. When Jamun was speaking to Hanumanji, these are little micro opportunities that are presented to all of the temples so that we can teach younger ones and ensure that year after year, our dharma grows stronger. So again, in closing, I want to say congratulations, special thanks to all of the members and to all of the Pandits in Dharmandal for your support. The Paramachar is not here, and I believe that we have, it would be remiss of us if we do not ask the second eldest senior in experience to please, bring your greetings, bring your blessings, and then we can move on with the rest of the program. So I'll pass over to Pandit Balaram.
Sitaram one and all. Thank you very much, Pandit Jaidat. I want to support all the positive comments made by everyone. I want to throw out a challenge. This is Indian Arrivaldi. There's a big historical incident that we need to be mindful of. You would have heard in the newspaper, on the media, where the challenge was thrown out to everyone. We need to get a name for Nelson Island. Our history is important. We as Chinese and Hindus do not know our history as much as we should. So I'm not going to tell you what the history of Nelson Island is, but it's intimately tied with our ancestors. They went there before they came to the various plantations. So we need to know that. So now the challenge is we're being asked to rename that island, bearing in mind our history, our culture, our tradition, our religion, and whatever. So I'm saying to each and every one, you're creative, you're supportive, you need to start thinking as groups, as families, however it might be, try to get an appropriate name for Nelson Island. One suggestion was indigo, or not indigo, Indian or something, so I can't remember the name, something was said. All right? The thing is, we need to get a name that reflects our history, our tradition, and our culture. And if we can do that, then we will have made a great contribution to what is called East Indian Arrival Day. So if we do that, then this arrival day will mean so much to all of us. I repeat again, at the point of boring you, we need to get an appropriate name acceptable by all to rename that island. And just briefly remember, that's where the island's ancestors went, and they were primed and pruned and whatever, and so they were ready to be dispatched to all the various estates. So we're looking forward to your contributions. I am looking forward to that, the country looking forward to that, and here's an opportunity where we, if we really say we are proud Indo-Trinis, we can make a tremendous contribution toward the renaming of that island, Nelson Island too. We wait and see. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pandit Balaram Prasadji, for his contribution and greetings here this morning. Just as Pandit have mentioned, that Indian Arrival, we are celebrating Indian Arrival Month. This is our month, so we have to celebrate it. And also with that in mind, SWAHA is going to have the prize giving ceremony on Indian Arrival Day. So you all could give your names to your respective members, to the executives, and we'd like to see you all there. And that is going to be at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute Auditorium in Mount Hope, Indian Arrival evening. So all are specially invited. But before we go on with this morning program, because we're almost to a close of this morning's event, we like to just ask the judges to please give your remarks on the performance of the wonderful groups that have performed here this morning. Each one of them had flawless live execution, and they were really dynamic. So please, I'd like to introduce Dr. Shivanan Maharaj to give judges' remark.
Sitaram, our Master of Ceremonies, Sitaram to all our respected pundits and all other members of SWAHA organization for such a wonderful event today. I'm really happy to be here, and also on behalf of my fellow judges, our distinguished panel of judges, I'd like to share some thoughts and comments on what transpired a few minutes ago with the presentations of the Bhajans. First of all, I would like to say that the mere fact of being involved in singing Bhajans is an achievement to start with. And so from that point of view, we have all already done very well in our presentation, the intention behind it, and we could have seen that from where we were sitting. So I want to say special congratulations. Let's please give all groups a special round of applause for their appearance and for their efforts. A little more specifically now on the presentation aspect on stage, we recognize in some cases there were presentations that used some innovation. They used Sargam's notation and so on, and this was really nice. So that was something that was, new. It was a nice addition to know that, some of it was enhanced by the use of notations, or what we know as Sargams, like Sarigama and all of that, right? So that was a nice touch. We also thought that all groups, they maintained more or less a good rhythm throughout their pieces. We did not really recognize that there were any big issue when it came to the presentations in terms of rhythm. And so that was something really good that we recognized. We also looked at the fact that the language was really also well presented. I think a lot of practice would have been done, and to make sure that the pronunciation of all bhajans, it was done with that sort of effort behind it. And so the language and one more aspect of it, in terms of the accompaniment that took place, we thought that that was also really good. It enhanced those of us who were playing the tabla, the drums, the keyboards, harmonium, jazz, tambourine, key, and all of that. All the instruments, they all added to the performance, so the accompaniment part of it. And also, however, there are some areas of improvement as we would always have. Some I will mention. In some cases, the items started off a bit shaky in terms of the notes or the melody, right? So we may probably need to look at some of that. Overall, I think some more emphasis or focus could be looked at when it comes to general presentation. Maybe when we are singing, we look a little happier, maybe, or we smile in between. Now, not that you are going to go there and make it a big smiling spectacle, I don't mean that, but some of it is good to, for general presentation. And also, the last point I would like to make here, that maybe in some of the cases also in the bhajans, we can probably add some of our own innovation and variations to the bhajan. So it may not necessarily have to be done exactly or straight like how it is done. So sometimes we add our own little slant to it, right? I mean, all in the name of Bhagwan, as we will say, of God, we are doing this. So what if the actual singer sang it just a little different? What if you sang it just a little different? It's not going to really, I'm not saying about the meaning of the song, but the way the song is sung, maybe we could also, make it. So I do recognize that there are, in some cases, the structure was also very well thought of. There was a couple of performances I remember. You all tried to achieve some variation with starting with a slow section, then you go with a fast section. Some of the jai cars also, they all added really a good experience generally to the program here today. So well done, everyone. I hope you all would find some of the comments to be interesting, and if it could be inculcated in future programs, I think that will make a big difference. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shivanan Maharaj. You could not have gotten it better than from a professional. A guy, this gentleman, he's a tutor, a guru in music in so many forms and fashion. And we got it first class here this morning. And we must say each group did fantastic. Fantastic. And I know they had a difficult job this morning. A very difficult job. You all really bought the competition. It's really stiff this morning. And we say congratulations to every group again who did a fantastic job here this morning. With no further delay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to pass on to give a vote of thanks, and then that will be followed by that. We'll have the results this morning here. Because I'm sure each group are eager and anxious to know how did we place after all this effort and time that we have invested. So, I want to hand you over to Pandit Chancharat Maharaj to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shivan. And as Shivan nicely said, I'm the person standing between you and the results, so I will be brief. So, firstly, I would like to thank deepest gratitude to SWAHA Sukhshantibhaktimandali for your warm hospitality, your hard work, and dedication in ensuring that today's events was executed perfectly. So, Pandit Gandhi, spiritual leader, Pandit Vinayak, to the executive and members of Sukhshantibhaktimandali, we say thank you very much. To the esteemed judges, Sri Rana Mohip, Dr. Shivanan, Sri Maniram, thank you so much for your encouragement, your expertise, and of course, all of your words of advice. To our PA system, that is Mr. Vijay Sankar and his dad, thank you so much for coming here this morning and being very well prepared and ready to actually assist and support this morning's proceedings. To the IETV crew, thank you very much. That's Lorenzo and Chris for covering this morning's events. To Shivan for a wonderful job as our Master of Ceremonies. Didn't sing a song. But thank you so much for all your words. And of course, we extend a sincere thank you to the Dharma Mandal, Pandits of the Dharma Mandal, for your continued guidance, blessings, and support in nurturing our youths and preserving our dharma and our spiritual path and traditions. To all participating Mondays, schools, parents, teachers, musicians, and supporters, all of your technical team and support, thank you very much for your efforts, for your participation and enthusiasm. Today was not only a competition, but it was a beautiful day that we were able to display our culture, display our talent, our devotion, and all of the abilities we have as a united organization. Most importantly, we would like to congratulate all of the young participants. Whether it was in storytelling, bhajan singing, whether you're a prop or part of a prop, whether you contributed to making a prop, whatever it may be, SWAHA is very proud of you, and we are very confident that the future is secure with your continued presence in the things that you do. You are the future and torchbearers of Dharma, and we thank you. Finally, to the executive led by Panditeshwar, all volunteers, sponsors, and everyone working behind the scenes to make everything and all the wheels turn that we don't always see or hear about, we say thank you very much. Your part was essential into the success that is today. May Bhagwan blessings continue to guide each and every one of you. And my last words to you is we shall now present the results for this morning. Thank you and Sitaram.
Sitaram, just a reminder, these are just the results here. You all will have to come on the 30th to collect your trophies. So, storytelling, we will just give the first 3 places. Those of you all, I think you can ask Pandit Ishra, so if you know if you did place in the first 3 and you want to know exactly where you all place, you can find out. 3rd place, SWAHA Sukhshantibhaktimandali. Second, SWAHA Hindu College. And first place, SWAHA Divyashra Mandali. I think all the storytelling, and it was really, really, as Pandit Chandra had said, to see all these young people come out. It augurs well for SWAHA. The Bhajan singing results. In 3rd place, we have a tie, SWAHA Tulsi Manas Mandir and SWAHA Om Shakti Mandali. In 2nd place, SWAHA Bhakti Jyot Mandali. And in 1st place, SWAHA Hindu College. So these are the results for today. Remember, you all have to come out on the 30th to collect your trophies. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Annie, for the results. You all have gotten the results, and we all know where each Mandar have placed. But, all of you all are winners. Give yourself a round of applause. To stand here in front of so many persons in the audience, to perform, young children, as Panditji have said, these are our future, the young children. And you all are doing fantastic. And to come and perform, it says a lot. So you all are definitely winners in your own way. And wherever you may be, I know this program is broadcasted live on IETV. Please join a SWAHA Mandar. They have a lot of mandars in your village, certain parts of the country. Get involved. Come and join in the spiritual journey. So with this, we say special thank you to everyone who have participated here in our 2026 Swadeshi Competition. I would like to thank you all for coming out, and all the participants, musicians, the judges, the pundits, all of you all who have dedicated your time and effort and energy. We say special thanks to you. And special thanks also to the members of sukhshantibhaktimandali here in St. Augustine, who have done a tremendous job in preparing this place for our program here this morning. So with this, I was your master of ceremony, Shivan Ramuta was the name, and I thank you for being a kind and beautiful audience that you all are. They tell me sing a song, but not now. I sang early on. But however, thank you very much for coming out. And as I said, there are some refreshments at the lower level. Please participate on your refreshments before you leave. And thank you very much for coming out, and have a wonderful and a safe Sunday. Take care. Sitaram.
Om Jai Swaha Mata, Maya Jai Swaha Mata, Tum Agni ki Shakti, Tum Agni ki Shakti.